Thanks for the tag on this one, because you're right, Caucasian does not equal white. And in fact, we are seeing foundational Caucasian DNA showing up in Black Americans in a way that can't be explained by post-colonial admixture. These two samples from Georgia are the earliest sequenced genomes from the Caucasus region. So geneticists call them the Caucasus hunter-gatherers. When you're talking about figuring out who is from the Caucasus Mountains or who is Caucasian, you'd be looking at DNA matches to these two genomes. Pulling out some of my ASW30 samples, you can see in these three here, and here, foundational genomes show up in at least all three of these samples. So why is this odd? Is because ASW30, as I've said before, is a genetic population reference group that is supposed to represent African Americans in the Southwest. Researchers took a group of people who self-identified as African American and had several generations in their family that also self-identified as African American. They grouped these people together, became this African American reference group that's supposed to be one of the typical populations of African American genetics in the United States. And as I've said, through my own DNA research and matches, I have found that several people in this particular group also have a completely Eurasian genome, meaning that their actual DNA does not have any African DNA matches at all, zero. So if those archaic DNA matches to the Caucasus Mountains were related to post-colonial admixture, we should see modern European reference groups show up in their admixture results. Problem is, if you can look at their single population matches, none of these groups have modern Europeans anywhere in their single population matches. If the Black Americans were getting this Caucasus DNA from modern Europeans, then you would see groups like French, English, Georgian even show up at genetic distances of less than 10, ideally less than 5. But not only do we not see them at small genetic distances, we don't see them at all. What does this actually mean? It means that these Black Americans carry Caucasus DNA that predates modern Europeans, that predates colonial admixture. So it means that they were already in the Americas before populations began to split into what we know as modern Caucasians.